Hello and welcome into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University, Pennsylvania, as we have another PSAC West matchup as your California Vulcans will be taking on the Mercyhurst Lakers. Welcome into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck, and joining alongside me today is Colin Kirkwood. And Colin, it's good to be back on the call with you. It seems like we haven't been together for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been together, and we're back here at the Convocation Center as well. It's been a while since that, so all sorts of good things heading into date night tonight.
It most definitely is a whole bunch of good things. We'll see if California can stay on their good streak, as the last game they played was against UPJ on Saturday, and we saw them get a victory on a last-second steal to secure that win.
Yeah, they survived a real upset bid there by UPJ on their brand new court, so they're looking to rebound from that performance with a strong outing today.
And for Mercyhurst, they're looking to rebound as their last game was against another team that California dropped a game to this season in Seton Hill. And they came away with on losing side with a score of 65 to 95, 59, excuse me, after another team that California lost to.
And Seton Hill also has a victory up on California, if I remember correctly, so a tough team either way, so nothing to take away from them today.
And California definitely has to get on the right side of things, as the last time they took on Mercyhurst was on January 20th, the day before we came back from winter break, and they came on the losing side of that one, 61 to 53, as the Lakers utilized a 12-0 run at the end of the game to really secure the victory against, at that time, only a two-loss California team.
That's right, California was ranked number 14 at that time, and they've now slid down to 21st, so definitely still in the top 25. It's where you want to be heading into the later part of the season, looking towards tournaments. You're still in the top 25, so I think they're still okay right now. And
touching on those rankings just a bit was Colin right there. Colin, break down these rankings. Discuss where really the important spots are in this season.
That's right. The regional rankings for the women's basketball D2 area just came out today, and we look at it. The top 8 teams get in. There are 3 automatic bids here in the Atlantic region, and as it reads right now, Virginia Union is number 1, followed by Indiana at 2, Edinburgh number 3, so 2 PSAC teams holding down top spots, followed by Glenville State at number 4, Virginia State at 5, and then Cal U Clarkson at number 6. Westchester and Seton Hill round out the top 8 with 7th and the 8th spots.
And a lot of that is due really to this injuries that this California team has seen this season. So we'll see if they can move up a little bit, or see if they can stay stagnant on there. But that's all we have for pregame. Stay tuned as we have tip-off is next.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it. We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. And welcome back into the broadcast. I'm Danny Beck, and joined alongside me once again is Colin Kirkwood. And Colin, this Lakers team coming into California, the last time these two teams played, we touched on a little bit in the pregame. They took down California at the time. They only had 2 losses. Now California sits them at 4 losses. And here's the tail of the tape right here on your screen, and then really break down what happened this season. And those are the stats for it.
Well, if you take a look here, points against is something I always like to point out when we're doing a women's game here at CalU, because this is such a good defensive team, and Jess Strom really harps on defense as the main part of this team. And you can see that here as they've only averaged about 56 points against them scored, so that's definitely a great number for them. Taking a look also at their offense, just about 68 points a game, so they're scoring a lot as well in terms here, getting a lot of points off turnovers and whatnot. But then if you take a look down here at the 3-point percentage, this is something that really worries me about this team, Danny. They have a lot of inside threats, and they seem to struggle when it comes to shooting the basketball, especially from behind the 3-point arc.
Yeah, they definitely do. And if they get started earlier on in a contest, it seems like that 3-point, the cobwebs kind of come off, and they can start to get their shot going down. But yeah, in the beginning of a contest, they take these uncontested threes and they miss them, and that's why you saw that 3-point percentage so low.
That's right, and we are just about ready to get underway here. We will be pausing for the national anthem.
We will. So just like that, we're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem. And welcome back after that rendition of the national anthem. And Colin, it's also something interesting to mention. This is the first time in quite some time, I believe 4 games, that this California Vulcans team is back in the Convocation Center.
Yeah, they are on quite a homestand here as the regular season is just about winding down here, so you'll see starters coming onto your screen here.
You want to break down those starters for Mercyhurst first?
We'll have, you just saw number 3, Ebony Chopeni came onto the court. Following her is number 14, Lauren Lapertosa. And then right behind her is number 22, Corey Sidwell. Emily Norris comes in after her, and that's a junior. We'll run back the classes after this last one comes in here. Jemiah Shabazz here rounds out the starting 5 for the Lakers. Running back through that is Jemiah Shabazz is a senior. But we'll flip it over to California here. As always, number 3, Shatara Parsons, the senior coming out of Central Dauphin High School. Following her is number 11, Gianna Flood Francis, a junior from West Mifflin and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then right behind her is number 15, DJ Hahn, a sophomore out of Warren, Pennsylvania. Next up is number 22, Mia Kushan, a junior from Raystown, Missouri. And this is her first game back. And finally, rounding out the top 5 for them is number 23, Gina Valcorsa, a sophomore from Pittsburgh, PA, and Bishop Canevin.
And you touched on Mia Kushan, that first game back. And she's one of those scoring threats out there on the floor. Kind of works very well with Shatara Parsons. So it'll be interesting to see her impact in this contest because of the fact that, the last time these two teams played, we're going to keep hitting on this all night. That the Lakers took down California earlier on this season, not too long ago either. So those wounds are still fresh for California. They're looking to kind of revamp their team, revamp their roster, and that's why they added in Mia Kushan.
Also going along lines with that, Erie County just has been a place of nightmares and horrors for California as they've gone up there. They've only gotten one win so far as they beat Gannon, and we were unable to attend that one, but they lost to Edinburgh on the road. They also lost to Mercyhurst on the road as well.
Yeah, we weren't even there for the Gannon game. That's the game that we had to stay home due to some inclement weather. But this California team in Erie, you took the words right out of my mouth. It is dangerous up there. I don't know, something about the air, something in the water, but California just cannot perform up there. We can see if they can perform in Washington County down here, get back on the right side of things.
Teaching you basketball and geography.
At the tip, it is going to be Lauren Lapertosa and Shatara Parsons. And the Lakers set up, have numbers right off the bat, and her shot was blocked right away by Shatara Parsons. So Parsons loses the tip, stays with it, and blocks. I believe that was number 40, Jemiah Shabazz, on the other side. See now Gina Valacorsa running the point for this California team, bringing it up against Lauren Lapertosa. Hahn tries to give it into Parsons. Parsons getting battered by 3 Lakers players, but still puts a shot up, and good for her first points of the night.
Shatara Parsons going right to work early from the inside part of the paint, right in the teeth of this defense.
Parsons working against Shopee. Chopin now looking around, gets her dribble stripped from Shatara Parsons. It's going to be a jump ball. California taking over possession, so right off the bat, Shatara Parsons all over the place. And they will, a little bit of confusion out there on the floor, but California will take over possession.
Going to work early, doing what their bread and butter is in terms of getting turnovers.
Of course, is still against Lapertosa. Parsons in the corner over to DJ Hahn. Flood Francis and Kushan still have yet to touch the basketball here tonight. There's Flood Francis with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tries to get it in the inside into the lane over to DJ Hahn. Errant pass, though, as Mercyhurst takes over. Other way now, Corey Sidwell. Sidwell finds Lapertosa. Great pass to the inside to Shabazz. Puts a shot up, but they're going to call a travel before her shot. California gets the ball right back, and these are the opportunities that you have to take advantage of earlier on in a ball game.
That's right, because you never know what could come back and really haunt you, if you will, towards the end of the game. Opportunities you need to make best on as soon as you possibly can.
No doubt about that, as now Valacorsa driving in, puts her shot up. She will be fouled going to the basket.
She was very aggressive going towards the basket there. She saw a lane and she went with it. She's rewarded with a chance for 2 points here.
It's interesting seeing Valacorsa at that point. You normally see Bianca Jasper, even an Natalia Casal. Sometimes, very rarely though, Emily Suckling comes into the game, but Valacorsa starting in this one. She has a big role to fill. As her first shot is up and no good. Attempting her second now with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left.
Danny, this is kind of strange. I don't know if they're going to continue to do that, but if you notice, everybody who was lined up around this free throw, they all had their hands up at the same time. Maybe perhaps a mental battle being waged here.
As Valacorsa hits her second shot, making the score 3-0 now in favor of the Vulcans. Corey Sidwell, pressured by Flood Francis, gives it over to Lapertosa. In the corner now, Chopin decides not to shoot. 10 seconds left on the shot clock now. Mercyhurst pressured. Lapertosa fakes her shot, drives in, gets it stripped, and there will be a charging foul called on Lapertosa. A lot of fouls called earlier on, and a lot of turnovers from Mercyhurst.
A lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, and a lot of missed opportunities for the Lakers here. Not the way you want to start a ball game.
Less than 2 minutes has elapsed, and there's already been 2 fouls, both called on Mercyhurst. You can say a lot of fouls, only 2 minutes gone, so 2 fouls is quite a bit. As now Parsons, great move to the hoop. She will be fouled. Another foul underneath the hoop, and this Lakers team isn't letting anything get past them.
And this is somebody you don't want to have in your way heading towards the hoop, but she's heading her way with the basketball. Get out of Shatara's way.
As Parsons will put her first one up and good. Nothing but nylon on that.
Check in for the Lakers is number 4, Stephanie Petrie.
Second, no good. Right there to get the rebound was Jemiah Shabazz. Chopin kicks it over to the new sub in. Driving to the rim now. Pass is stripped yet again. Valacorsa in transition gives it over to Kushan. Clear lane to the hoop, and she will get her shot to fall in transition.
And she will make that shot all day, every day if you give her an opportunity to make her way to the basket.
Chopin working against Shatara Parsons. A little bit of a mismatch when it comes to height. But Shabazz wide open underneath the hoop. Shot up and good from number 23, Emily Norris.
They finally get the cap off the basket here, Danny.
That they do, as the score is now 6-2 in favor of California. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. Shot up from the corner, no good on the three-pointer from DJ Hahn. Chopin now gets the ball for the Lakers back in transition. Outside, a foul is going to be called on Mia Kushan, a reach-in foul right in front of the media table here. It's our first foul here tonight, as well as California's first foul. Gets it into Chopin. Switches back over, and Kushan almost there to get the tip away. Now Norris yet again, shot up, no good, too strong. Shabazz keeps it alive for Mercyhurst. Over to the wide open in the corner. That was Stephanie Petrie. She will not get her shot to fall. Chopin now up and no good. DJ Hahn tries to secure the rebound, and then Gianna Flood-Francis decides to pull away, and that's when Mercyhurst touched the basketball, so California will take over.
Hitting a lot of back iron early here, Danny, as they're putting a lot of power behind their shots.
Most definitely are, and back iron, even just throwing the ball right over the hoop, has to kind of get their range here today. So now DJ Hahn looks up at the clock. Pass over to Valcorsa. Now Parsons yet again drives to the hoop and yet again converts. That gives her fifth point here tonight. They score 8-2.
Textbook offensive possession by Shatara Parsons there. She gets the ball, takes a couple steps, and makes her way right in for a good 2 points.
On the outside, Mercyhurst trying to get some penetration, cannot. Keeps her dribble, and then will be called on the foul. I believe that was on Gina Valacorsa at the last second. Almost had the ball poked away, but yet again, right in front of the media table here, another foul will be called.
A lot of action for us here as we got another check-in for Mercyhurst here. That's number 10, Rachel Chesar.
And the freshman seeing some playing time as well.
We're no stranger to seeing freshmen get some playing time as well.
Jemiah Shabazz gives it over to Chopin. Chopin now working against Mia Kushan, as Shatara Parsons works on the new sub-in. Petrie gives it over, cannot keep it alive. DJ Hahn does, though, as now Flood-Francis in transition, driving to the hoop. No good on the shot, a little bit too hard, as Valacorsa will be fouled. A little bit of a hold on that one as Valacorsa tried to go back up vertical.
That's something you don't see every day, Danny, to see a Vulcan in general miss a shot that close to the hoop. They seem to be so automatic and so clutch when it comes to doing those things that sometimes a slip-up might catch you off guard.
Most definitely, especially in transition, as Abby Sporio will sub in at the next break. Parsons now puts a shot up, no call. Trying to vie for that one, as she cannot. Chesar now working against Kushan. Over to Petrie, and she will get her shot to fall. Her first bucket of the night.
Now's their first look from really, besides being up and in close and personal, so a good place to shoot.
Valacorsa gives it over to Kushan. 5 minutes and 18 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Swings it back around and then passes on the inside to Parsons. Knocks down Shabazz, but no call, as DJ Hahn shot up, no good. Follows her shot, but cannot get the rebound, as Chesar has it for the Lakers.
And that's something you really can't teach, to have the will and energy to follow up a shot no matter if you know if it's going to go in or not.
Fantastic pass on that one, allowed the Lakers to get right to the basket and convert. So just like that, the Mercyhurst Lakers are on a 5-0 run.
And California is very susceptible to runs here, Danny, as we've seen a lot of teams have really made their way into beating California with doing things just like that.
And Kushan gets right to the hoop, and like that, they finally convert underneath the hoop. That's Mia Kushan's fourth point of the night. Chopin still working against Shatara Parsons. Shabazz gives it over to Petrie. Gives it over to Chopin. 8 seconds left on the shot clock now. Pass underneath the hoop. Kicks it out to the outside. Chesser shot up and good. And just like that, we have a tie ball game at 10.
That was just a great execution right there by Mercyhurst, moving the ball around, looking for the best possible shot, and ultimately getting a corner three.
This next stoppage will be a media timeout, as Kushan has it on the outside. Fakes the shot, picks up her dribble, then gives it over to Parsons. Parsons tries to work in. Good post move, no good on the shot though, trying to keep it alive is Gina Vallacorsa, but the much taller Emily Norris keeps it alive, 6 foot forward. Petrie gives it over to Chesar. Chesar keeps it alive, gives it back over to Petrie. Shabazz right underneath the hoop, shot up and good.
Way to keep your head on a swivel there. Find the open teammate right in front of the basket for a good look.
Now California down by 2, 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Also a new sub in coming in for California will be Bianca Jasper. Vallacorsa shot up, no good. Almost blocked on that one. Kushan tries to put a shot up, no good as well. Now 7 seconds left on the shot clock. But Francis gives her over to Parsons, driving to the basket and getting the shot to fall. Great move of just getting to the hoop, getting those high percentage points.
It's almost like California is copying and pasting on offense, doing what it needs to do to score points, and it works.
And there is a charge called on on Mercyhurst. DJ Hahn just seems to be that charge drawing machine for this California team.
So we're going to go ahead right here and take a look at some of the team leaders for these two PSAC West foes. As you take a look at Shatara Parsons, really, and to no surprise, Danny is covering things for the Balkans here, getting just about 21 points a game for her, as well as almost about 8 rebounds a game as well. So she's really doing a lot of great things, as well as 71 steals and 34 minutes a game just about, so really doing everything.
She definitely is, and the only time she really sits out is if she's in foul trouble, and so she's still a team leader. And now we're going to look at these Mercyhurst team leaders, and Chopin, a freshman, is leading the team in assists, steals, and minutes.
This is a team that's turning over a little bit here, Danny. We saw them last year in the NCAA tournament here, lost a couple of key players, so now they're really bringing in the new fresh players to incorporate them, and having stats like that for someone that you're just incorporating in their first season, I'd say things are all working according to plan.
Oh, without a doubt they are. And look right there, Jess Strom, the head coach for this California Vulcans team. A lot of success here in California, as Gary Smith, our director and producer, showed us a video of Hail to Hamer, and Jess Strom was at the end of that one having some great success with his team when she even first came to California, and she's trying to continue this success with this team here this year, as they're sitting at 20-4 this season, 15-3 in conference play.
From what I understand, her newborn child is in attendance here today as well, so getting to see her mom at work for the first time.
Without a doubt, as now we're going to see DJ Hahn pass the ball into a new sub in, like I mentioned before, Bianca Jasper. Sub in as well for Mercyhurst, Eliza Oswalt, a freshman from Lower Burrell, PA. Abby Sporio working against her, 2-on-2, shot up and good for Abby Sporio.
Good work for her. They are driving the baseline and being able to pull off and put that one away.
Abby Sporio, that steal machine for this California team. Mercyhurst pass off of Gina Vallacorsa. Mercyhurst will keep possession with 21 seconds left on the shot clock.
A lot of action in front of us here today, Danny.
It seemed like a lot of, we have a great vantage point now, you know, it's perfect. As pass goes in to Stephanie Petrie. Gives her over to Chesar. Jasper against Oswalt. Shot up, no good. DJ Hahn getting the tough rebound. Actually gets her rebound tipped away. She's putting her body on the line. And I believe Mercyhurst will take over possession going off of DJ Hahn's hands.
They will indeed, and DJ Hahn has no problem, no fear putting her body on the line, game in and game out, taking a lot of charges.
No question about that, as Mercyhurst gets a new shot clock. Chopin will travel on that one, giving California the ball back right again. And, you know, this California team, they're having a lot of opportunities off turnovers. They could get some points off turnovers. That would be huge, as they only have 6 here tonight. Excuse me, I was looking over at Colin's laptop, seeing the stat guy over here.
That's me. I always like to keep the numbers right in front of me, always staying informed.
DJ Hahn gives it over to Gina Vallacorsa. Her pass is tipped away. Chesar takes over for the Lakers. Now Chopin with 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Over to Petrie, and there will be a foul called away from the ball. I believe that would be on Emily Norris. Actually, there was a moving screen called, trying to set up some space for her offense, but you got to plant those feet first.
Always have to make sure they aren't moving on you.
Now with 1 minute and 15 seconds left, this first quarter of play. California on offense. DJ Hahn gets it and will be called on the travel. So new sub-ins coming back in. Be Shabazz and Mia Kushan. We're going to see a baseline toss in for Mercyhurst.
A lot of traveling going on early in this one, Danny, racking up a lot of extra miles on your flight credit card.
In those travel points as Chopin gives it over to Shabazz. The travel points you don't want to accrue. So now Abby Sporio working against Chopin. Staying with, now turning up the double team. It's back over to Petrie, then finds Oswald. Oswald showing great moves right there to keep the ball alive. Now with 1 second left, shot up, no good, but it did hit the rim, so no shot clock violation as Abby Sporio looking up the floor. Can't find somebody in transition. Bianca Jasper at the top of the key gives it back over to DJ Hahn and then finds Parsons. Parsons mid-range shot up, no good. Oswald tried to come down with the one-handed rebound, but Abby Sporio will take over. And the shot clock has not been reset, so we're going to take a time to reset the shot clock. I believe the shot clock should be off with 19 seconds left.
So do I. I'm not quite sure why they're so worried about it.
And he is saying turn it off. A little bit of confusion here in the Convocation Center. First time for everybody. I guess you got to just shake those cobwebs off.
Yeah, it's been a while, without a doubt here.
Everybody's not really used to using this technology for a little bit as Bianca Jasper has it with now 10 seconds left on the game clock. Jasper wants a clear out over to Kushan. 5 seconds left. Kushan has to drive in. Great move getting to the hoop. No good. Parsons tried to put the shot out at the buzzer, but she will be fouled, attempting to from the line before that buzzer sounded.
Lakers bench was very upset. Still very upset about that one here.
Most definitely are, as quite a few players and coaches from Mercyhurst put their hands on their heads, kind of questioning how that happened, but nonetheless, we're going to see two from Parsons.
And head coach Deanna Richard is still very upset with this one.
Shot up, no good from Parsons. And you see her right there, visibly upset on the screen.
Visibly
Her
upset.
second, no good as well. But the team is claiming that there's a...
Now something else is going on. Oh, looks like we're going to have a conversation here.
But nonetheless, that's how the first quarter will come to an end. California up in this contest, 14-12. Stay tuned as we have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on the PSAC Sports Network.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. Right before the break, you heard a little bit of confusion. Listen, you might be watching this on the PSAC network, not whatever I said, but California is up by 2 in this one, 14-12. Colin Kirkwood joined by me, and we were chuckling about that. Couldn't get the words out for some reason.
Just like you said, the people who are running the shot clock have a little bit of home cobwebs. So do we. It's been a long time.
Yeah, English is not my top priority, I guess, in that situation. But nonetheless, California on defense now, working against Chopin. Brings it across half court. So now we're going to see Petrie over on the outside, and California will take over possession as Stephanie Petrie traveled right out of bounds.
It's another turnover here for these Lakers. And if you're wondering why you haven't seen any replays, we are having a little bit of technical difficulty in our truck system right now. So we apologize for any inconveniences that may come from that.
Jasper gives it over to Hahn and then gets it right back. Hahn working in, pulls up a shot mid-range and moves the net on that one. Score is now 16-12 in favor of California.
Perhaps one of California's better shooters here doing what she does best.
Now Chopin gives it on the outside over to Petrie. Jasper comes over and tries to get that jump ball, and she will, taking over possession.
Going back to how we talked about some of these turnovers that Mercyhurst is accruing here early, they've got 9 to this point in the ball game compared to California's 4.
So now with 9 minutes left to go in this second quarter of play, DJ Hahn pass on the outside to Parsons. He's kind of running the point on that one as Sporio shot up, no good. Going right back up is Kushan, no good as well, as Shabazz keeps it alive and gives it over to Petrie. Bring up the floor, but loses her dribble. Gives it over to Oswald. Petrie looking on the inside, trying to feed the post, cannot, as Emily Norris forced to push it over to Oswald. Oswald spins around, working against much taller Shatara Parsons. Norris shot wide open up, no good. Oswald, a 3 of her own, up and good for the freshman.
Danny, that's very, very interesting release. I always like to see the different jump shots that come from the different teams that we see here on the road and at home. And definitely really strange release point.
Without a question, but it worked for her on that one, so it's only weird if it doesn't work. As a spin shot from Shatara Parsons, no good. So now in transition, Mercyhurst brings it across the floor. Right over the head of Bianca Jasper. And there was a blocking foul called on Mia Kushan there, so I see an inbound from the baseline. Chessar coming back in, subbing out is Oswald. Actually, no, excuse me, Stephanie Petrie. Chopin passes it in over to Chessar. Chessar almost a step back shot, no good. Besides, it's no good, gives it back over to Oswald. Oswald passes on the inside over to Emily Norris. She puts a shot up, no good, but she will attempt to from the free throw line.
She's a relatively good free throw shooter here, about 70% for her campaign. You see her there, a junior from Clay, New York.
Her first shot up, no good. Clangs around that rim. Valacorsa comes in, subbing out as Mia Kushan.
He's going to look to get the second one here.
Second shot up and good. Making the score now 16-16 and all knotted up.
Tightly contested game here so far, Danny, as the second quarter is still young.
Expected nothing less out of these two teams. As Valacorsa shot up, no good. Bianca Jasper there to get the rebound. Now slowing down her offense with a fresh shot clock. Sporio wants to give it over to Parsons. Instead, Jasper has it, spinning around. Cannot find anybody, then gives it over to Parsons. Parsons move in underneath the hoop as the ball will go off of a Lakers player. California will retain possession with 12 seconds left on the shot clock.
And she put a couple of moves on there, working towards the inside there. Good looking handles.
She definitely did, and she's one of those players that's dangerous in the post. Valacorsa will give it back over to Parsons. Shot up, and she will actually be called on the travel before the shot went up, and looked over at the referee and kind of nodded her head saying, yeah, I definitely did travel.
Yeah, she knew on that one. She realized she got caught, and she was like, that's fine. I'll take the ball back on the next possession and make up for it.
As now Mercyhurst tip off of Jasper's hands, but Oswalt will keep it for the Lakers. And she took it right back. Just like you said, Colin, as now going to the hoop, no good. Right there to gobble up the rebound was DJ Hahn and putting the basket.
High off the glass and in there on that one. I thought it was going to bounce right back out.
Definitely thought it was, but these friendly hoops here in the Convocation Center proving us both wrong. As Oswalt now working against Jasper. 6 minutes and 23 seconds before halftime. Chopin working against DJ Hahn. Swings it on the outside over to Chesar. Chesar shot up, no good. And DJ Hahn coming up with the defensive rebound now, setting up her offense. Jasper slowing down their offense just a bit now with 6 minutes before halftime.
Things looking relatively pretty close here in terms of a lot of stats.
DJ Hahn working against Emily Norris, shot up, no good. A little bit too hard on that one as it bangs on the outside of the rim.
It's a good shot, but it looks like the rotation that was on that ball forced it to come right back out. It was right on line.
Oswalt, last time she was left wide open, she hit that one down, but California left her open yet again. That time, no good on the shot. Next breakage will be our second media timeout. Jasper still working against Chopin, using the screen from DJ Hahn. Hahn shot up, no good, no foul called as well as Chopin hit the deck. Brings it across that Cal logo at midcourt. Oswalt has it now with 5 minutes and 5 seconds before halftime. Oswalt shot up, trying to draw the foul, and she does from Shatara Parsons. I believe that will be Shatara Parsons' second foul here tonight.
It indeed will be her second, as we're going to see one of these Lakers freshmen here at the line. Not the person you want to foul here, Danny. Take a look at it. She's actually leading the team in free throw shooting percentage here, sitting at about 83%. So naturally, she makes that one.
It might also be a little skewed due to the fact that she's a freshman. She might not see as many minutes as everybody else out there on the floor. She only averages 5.5 points per game. And shot up as well. Score is now 18 all. 5 minutes left. Jasper working against Chopin. Gives her over to Sporio. Sporio driving in, getting pressured. Referee saying a bunch of hands on that one. As Chopin looks up the floor. Oswalt shot up. No good. Getting the rebound. Great box out from Jasper. Jasper now working in transition. Mercyhurst has numbers as Valacorsa puts a shot up. No good, as she will be called on the travel on that one. And that will bring us to our media timeout. And Colin, tightly contested game thus far. We mentioned this is kind of what we expected out of both these two squads. And right there you can see the PSAC West and why these teams are so competitive. But you can definitely see that California and Seton Hill right there, as California already solidified their spot in the tournament.
That's right, and this is just a very competitive conference and a competitive division as well. As you take a look there, Edinburgh has the top spot right now, and it's going to be a big couple of games left as they still have to play Indiana again. And I do believe that is this Saturday, so that'll really decide what's going to happen with that. But let's take a look at the eastern side of the conference here. As you see, Westchester has things under control, as well as East Stroudsburg and Millersville. Quite a little bit different on the other side here, Danny, as only 3 teams are sporting records over 500.
Yeah, they are in California, just over Westchester, I believe, in the national rankings. I believe they sit, actually, no, excuse me, that's the regional rankings. They sit at 8. Actually at 7, so California right in front of them. So, you know, the PSAC, we're very lucky with the talent that this PSAC basketball really has in both East and West.
You're right, we are lucky, and there are just so many athletes that come from around the globe even. We've seen a lot of global athletes come to this conference because it's really one of the premier conferences in Division II athletics.
It most definitely is, and you know, it's great to see how different play styles all converge in one spot. You know, unselfish play styles as California, their last game, led actually had 19 assists. I believe that was the highest this season, so a season high for them in assists off of 26 made field goals. So this team is starting to mesh as a team. They're passing the ball around a little bit more. and working the ball around the key, and that's something that, you know, head coach Jess Strom loves to see out of her teams. As Oswald brings it up before for the Lakers. Coming out of this immediate timeout, they love to see some points being made now. As everybody but number 22, Corey Sidwell, has a point on this Lakers floor. As the shot is up and good.
Nice little jump shot there to get that one through. Get 2 more points, break the tie.
The Vulcans are leading in rebounds, 13-12. And those rebounds allowing them to set up their offense and get the ball back on defense. Sporio gives it back over to Jasper. Then finds Parsons with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tries to steady herself, cannot put the shot up. Kind of an ill-advised shot on that one. Had a little bit more time on that shot clock to utilize. As there'll be a charge called on Bianca Jasper. And that charge machine, DJ Hahn, kind of applauding her effort out there on the floor. You can hear the crowd behind us yelling, "You can't do that." Home crowd being up in some familiar territory. That's good to see.
Reminding me of the old high school student section days. I don't know if you were a partaker in that.
No question about that. I definitely was. I wasn't an athlete, so I was being in the crowd, cheering some friends on.
That's right, you were a mathlete, right?
Heck no, not that either. As BB George gives it over to Jasper, then finds Valacorsa, who then finds the back of the hoop on that one. Shot is up and good. California is up by 1 now, 21-20.
First 3-pointer of the game here for California as they sit 1 for 4.
Shot up, trying to answer back, and they do, just like that. Jesser hits her shot.
That's 4 for 9 for the Lakers.
Jasper brings it across half court and then finds Abby Sporio. Works around that 3-point arc. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left before halftime. Parsons will be called on yet another travel. That time doesn't seem so confident that she traveled on that one.
Actually, my mistake, it's only 3 for 8. Lots of lines in a lot of places. Sometimes you're just going to get them confused.
Mercyhurst leading California in this third quarter, 10-7. So flipping the script just a little bit. So now Oswald finds Corey Sidwell. Sidwell almost gets her pass tipped away, and BB George gets the steal for California, now streaking right in front of us. Shot up and good. Great in transition for California.
Big 2 steps right there to make her way right underneath the rim, and good body control to find a place to get that one to work.
And a travel called on Mercyhurst as Bianca Jasper tried to steal the ball away from Mercyhurst, and they did. So now we're going to see Jasper bringing it up the floor. BB George has it now with 2 minutes left before halftime. Driving in, then gives it over to Jasper. Almost attempts a shot, but we haven't seen many shots from Jasper, as it looks like her shoulder is hurting her just a little bit. Has some wrap on it. As Parsons shot up, no good. Blocked on that one. Chopin now in transition, shot up, and it will be blocked, I believe, by Jasper. She'll be called on the foul.
Yeah, really interesting pull-up right there. You see Emily Chopin here, another freshman for this Lakers team coming out of Erie, PA, so didn't have to travel that far to play some basketball. She came from Mercyhurst Prep.
It didn't have to change anything but the level of education, the level of
Drop the prep at the university.
Exactly. She attempts her second from the line.
She's a 61% shooter.
And she hits her second. Going up by 1 now are the Lakers. Jasper brings it up yet again. Valacorsa now has it on the outside. Over to DJ Hahn. DJ Hahn looking to drive in, gives it over to BB George. Shot up, no good. Tries to get the rebound, and she does on her own shot. It's tipped across a few fingers. And it did not hit the rim. So now with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, shot up from DJ Hahn, no good. Chopin gets it for the Lakers. So now Oswald brings it in. Go over pass over to Norris. as she will be fouled on Bianca Jasper. So now she goes to the line to attempt 2.
She's a little bit upset about that foul there. I mean, I thought she was just playing some hustle defense, but I mean, sometimes you're going to get a foul.
Streaking in on that one, kind of getting over there a little bit late, as Norris's first one is up and no good.
That one off the back iron here.
Trying to extend their lead to 2. Shot up and good on her second, and they do extend their lead now 25-23 with just about a minute left before the halftime break.
Some exciting basketball here on Valentine's Day and date night at the Convocation Center. So Danny's my date, and we're your date here on this Wednesday evening.
Definitely are, as now Sporio spins, shot up, no good. Trying to draw the foul, and there will be a foul call. We're going to see who it's on number 4, BB George. Kind of a push on that one. I believe they will attempt 2 as well, as that is 5 fouls this quarter now for California. And Shatara Parsons also on the bench. I mentioned that she's only really on the bench when she's in foul trouble, so keep her out of foul trouble. You'll see a little bit more production out there on the floor. Second one is, or first one, excuse me, is up and no good from Corey Sidwell. An 83.3% free throw shooter as well. And her second is good. Now lead by 3, 26-23, with 40 seconds left before halftime. Got to see either a tying shot here for California. Valacorsa, shot up, no good, no foul call. BB George, second shot opportunity, no good, as now DJ Hahn driving in. Try to get her shot to fall, and she does. Now California answering right back to Mercyhurst, down by 1, under 20 seconds left.
Good runner by DJ Hahn.
It's now Chopin working against Sporio, trying to get the ball back. 2 players right there for California. Could not keep it alive, as now Oswald shot up, no good. Now with 2 seconds left, Chopin puts a shot up. Big 3-pointer, no good. And that is how the first half of play will end. California down by 1, 26-25. Stay tuned after the halftime break. We have some more women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on the PSAC network.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter, or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. Once again, I am Danny Beckton. Alongside me today is Colin Kirkwood. And Colin, California's down in this one 25-26, and here are the halftime stats. Break them down.
That's right. I mean, it's a close contest all around here. I mean, only a 1-point lead for the Lakers, but take a look at the field goals here. 11 for 32, and that comes out to be 34%, and then flipping it over to the Hurst side, 8 for 20, which turns out to be actually 8 for 18 for 44. No, 8 for 20. It changed back again. Doing a little updating here. Most likely Matt Kuiper and company over there. We'll talk about them later, but 40% right on the dot. 1 for 5 for 3-pointers for 20%, 3 for 10 for 30%. Common math right there, even though we're not much of math guys here. But still, 2 for 6, Danny. That's definitely something that you're going to want to improve on later on in this game. As you can see, Mercyhurst is 7 for 10 in terms of their 3 points.
And definitely rebounds as well. They're only down 17 to 16 in the rebounding department, but if California can secure some rebounds, set up their offense, I mentioned that they're actually up 13 to 12 in the first quarter of play. So not too many rebounds here in that second quarter of play, but also these fouls. They're sending Mercyhurst to the line, and a lot of fouls called in that first half of play for both sides. California is sending Mercyhurst to the line towards the end of that second half, or the first half of play, towards the end of that second quarter. So really just trying to X that out and just play good, clean basketball for Jess Strom's team.
That's right. I mean, if you look here, like as the turnovers you just saw there, everything is going status quo in terms for California in that aspect. Really doing what they need to do, getting 14 turnovers from the Lakers here. Other than that, just really need to work on those free throws, because when you get a chance to get these free points, you want to convert on them as many times as you can.
Most definitely do. Is now inbound play right in front of us yet again. A lot of action right in front of us, as Colin mentioned before. It's now Chopin working against Shatara Parsons yet again. Now driving in are Mercyhurst, and could not get the shot to fall. Coming down with the rebound now. 2 teams, as California will take over possession on the jump ball. Missed shot there was Corey Sidwell.
Big time effort from DJ Hahn to force that jump ball and get it for California, as we're going to have another stop here. Looks like, nope, everything is fine now. A little bit of chat over the scorer's table.
Nonetheless, now we're going to see an inbound over to Gina Valacorsa as she trots up the floor. Pass it over to Flood Francis. Flood Francis trying to find somebody. Only open person was Gina Valacorsa out there, as DJ Hahn now gives it over to Mia Kushan. Kushan shot up and good. And that is Mia Kushan's 6th point of the night.
6th point on a beautifully designed play there. She rolled right towards the basket, got it placed right in the bread basket.
We're finding those high percentage points as Corey Sidwell gives it over to Chopin, taking DJ Hahn right out of the situation. So now Shabazz off of her toe, it seemed like. Ball bounced right up into California's hands as Gina Valacorsa barking out the play call for her offense. Gives it over to Flood Francis. Flood Francis from the free throw line. Mia Kushan shot up, no good. Parsons also shot up, no good. And there's a shot and good. Now going to the line to attempt a 3-point play.
Here's a chance to build off of what we said they need to start working on here at the half. Look at it in terms of half, so you can start with a 1-for-1 opportunity.
So now Parsons will attempt this 3-point play like I mentioned. Shot up and good. So she does complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. So now Chopin brings it up before for the Lakers. Down by 4 now. As California has bounced out to a 4-0 run here in the second half of play. Sidwell will be called on the travel, giving California more opportunities to really pour this on.
Lots of traveling here, Danny. Perhaps with all those extra travel miles, you can get your ticket to Los Angeles for spring break.
That must be nice. Already cashed in on that one, a pretty penny for that flight. As Flood Francis work on the inside now, gives it back over to Parsons, keeping her dribble, steadying her shot, and getting the shot to fall. That's something that you cannot allow Shatara Parsons to do, because she gets right underneath the basket, calming herself down and putting the shot up. It's a 7-0 run now for California, starting this quarter off pretty strong. As now we're going to see Shabazz pass it over, and there will be a foul called right in front of the baseline referee on that one. That was called on Lauren Lapertosa, right on DJ Hahn. She's feeling that one as she comes up, holding her wrist, I believe. Don't want to speculate, however.
We're going to quick floor sweep here, make sure nobody falls down. No slip and slides on the court today.
It'll be fun, but not out there when you're an athlete. As Gina Valacorsa gives it over to Flood Francis. Defense from Sidwell. Using the screen from Parsons does not Gives it back over to Hahn in the corner now. Parsons working along the baseline. And she will be fouled on that one, I believe. It'll be on Jemiah Shabazz. Excuse me, Shabazz. DJ Hahn still feeling some pain on that one.
And that's the last thing that California wants in terms of looking down the road here.
Definitely would not be good for production. As now Hahn gives it back over to Valacorsa. Finds Mia Kushan. Now with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Parsons tries to drive in, gives it back over to Valacorsa, then keeps her dribble. Back over to Hahn. Hahn shot up, no good. Trying to get the rebound, and she does, is Flood Francis. She was all over Mercyhurst, but they're not going to call a foul on that one.
Working hard for a good look here.
Parsons driving in, should be called on the travel. And she was trying to vie for the foul on the floor, but she will not be called. So now we're going to see Chopin bringing it up for the Lakers. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. Mia Kushan there smacked the ball away, and coach for Mercyhurst smacking her hands on that one. Doesn't like that.
Very emotional coach, if you will. And you got to love that. I love to see when coaches really get involved in the game and really feel what their team feels.
Definitely animated as Shabazz shot good over Shatara Parsons on that one. California up by 4, 32-28. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
2 points away from their largest lead of the game, which was 6.
Valacorsa driving in, and I believe they're going to call a foul. And they're going to discuss just a little bit. She did slide her foot, but we're going to see what the call is. Discussing a little bit, as you can see on your screen there. And it will be called a travel, so Gina Valacorsa, good eye by our director, Gary Smith. Mercyhurst will take over on offense.
Would say eye in the sky, but more like eye in the truck.
Definitely, he's not even in the building.
It's like a transformer.
Mia Kushan comes up with it as now.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Sorry to step on your toes, Danny.
Shot up by Shatara Parsons is good.
There's a lot of pain for DJ Hahn here. She fell to the deck, and her left knee is giving her all sorts of problems right now.
Foul called. I'm not sure who it is on, and it will be on Shatara Parsons. And that is her third foul here tonight. And be seeing her sub out. Definitely want to keep her as a presence. You know, she has that scoring mentality out there on the floor for California. Get to the hoop and get the shots to fall. Shot good there from Chopin.
She was in a lot of discomfort there as it took her a couple of moments to get off the floor. She really clutched that knee for a while.
Chopin's second is good as well. So now Valacorsa brings it across the half-court line. Parsons working against Shabazz. Splits the defense, shot up, no good, but there will be a foul called here, sending her to the line. Be a blocking foul called on that. That is on Petrie. Her second foul here tonight. Team's fourth in the third quarter, so we'll be seeing California attacking some of these Lakers players and try to get to the line. As her first shot up, no good. She knows right away that was not a good attempt.
Just a little short.
And no good on that one either. Shaking her head in disappointment in herself. As Chopin gives it over in the corner. Shot up, no good. A little long on that one from Petrie, but then out of bounds, I believe. A foul called on 21. excuse me, number 23, Emily Norris. Of course, the wrong 23 out there on the floor, excuse me. Trying to shake off these cobwebs. As I mentioned before, Con, it's the first time back in Convocation Center. There's no excuses, but coming back, getting a little rust off. Shot up from Mercyhurst, no good. Emily Norris secures the rebound for the Lakers. Over now to Shabazz underneath the hoop. Gets a shot to fall and one, going to the line to attempt the three-point play.
Almost at that point when it comes to defending down there in that low post area, when you get that good of a look, it's almost a little bit more beneficial to really let that player score and not risk something like this happening.
Now Shabazz from the line attempting his three-point play. Up and good. Fundamentally sound at the line for the Lakers. Now they find themselves only down by one with 5 minutes left before the fourth quarter begins. Subbing as well as Abby Sporio, keeping her dribble alive on the baseline. DJ Hahn shot up, no good. Rebound from California as well, so good second chance opportunity. Parsons goes up and under the Lakers and gets the shot to fall. Now they find themselves up by 3, 36-33. Now Eliza Oswell feeling the pressure from California, and Abby Sporio right there to pick up the steal. Shot up, no good on the easy layup, and I believe there will be a foul called on number 11. That's on Gianna Flood-Francis, and that will bring us to our media timeout. And Colin, quite a bit has changed in this third quarter of play. California going out to a big lead as they find themselves up 11-7 in the third quarter and only up by 3 on the scoreboard.
That's right. I mean, don't sleep on them too much, though, Danny, because as we know, they've got the ability to really burst onto the scene here if they get a couple of turnovers and they can really push that up the floor for points, and they can be a completely different ball game in a matter of minutes.
It definitely can, and it can be a lot of different regional rankings in just one game. As you can see here on your screen, Virginia Union leads in that number 1 spot, then IUP right behind them, a foe that California is going to have to take on this weekend, this Saturday, I believe at 5:30. So stay tuned for that one, as well as Edinburgh in that 3rd spot. So have a lot of PSAC West representing, as Seton Hill also there in that 8th spot. California sitting at 6, and it's not where they wanted to see. Their season kind of changed a little bit, taking losses to IUP, taking losses to Edinburgh and Seton Hill, as well as Mercyhurst. All those teams in the regional rankings, they almost all have losses to those teams.
That's right, but I mean, losses build character when it comes to this time. You face a lot of these teams and you're going to see them, and you're going to end up taking what you learned from them in the first couple of times to later on if you end up meeting them again. It all depends, and you just have to get in. That's all you got to look to. You just have to get in, and once you get in, it's a completely different season. Wipe the slate clean.
Actually, I want to amend that last statement. They didn't take a loss to IUP. They actually beat the number 2 ranked IUP team last time these two teams played. And I mentioned before also, you might be watching this game on the PSAC network from Stretch Live streaming. That channel is available on Roku. I believe also you have PS4. You could watch it on your PS4 there, Colin.
You can watch it on your PS4, but as I found out during testing, you need to have a PS View subscription, because I wanted to view a couple of games earlier, but unfortunately I was unable to. So I played Fortnite instead.
As now Shabazz gives it over to Emily Norris, and to take the steal away was Shatara Parsons. Now Flood-Francis on offense, gives it over to Bianca Jasper, a new sub-in.
Bianca Jasper going to work once again, really getting things laid out the way she wants to see them.
Parsons gives it over in the corner to DJ Hahn. Hahn shot up and good. Big three-pointer from the corner.
She seems to be moving a little bit better compared to earlier when she was struggling a little bit, so that's good to see.
No question about that, as now trying to answer right back is Chopin, no good. And right there, Shatara Parsons gets the rebound. Chopin can't get her shot to fall, so California has an opportunity to stretch their lead just a little bit more as it's out to 6.
Ties the largest lead that they have had in this ballgame so far.
Triple teamed almost on that one underneath the hoop. Hahn, another three-pointer up, no good on that one. And keeping the ball alive almost was Bianca Jasper, but went right off her hand. and she's feeling a little bit of pain. As you can see her there on your screen, kind of wincing just a little bit. So this California team is all sorts of types of banged up. As now we're going to see Chopin bring it across half court.
She has not attempted a shot yet in the ball game here, so perhaps maybe just a passing threat today.
And just setting up her offense, kind of having that Mickey Glenn role for California this season.
Almost like a true point guard.
A great pass there, gives it to Emily Norris, and then getting it right back. A few passes, as it looks like California will take over possession off the fingertips. Jasper now brings it up the floor. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left before the fourth quarter begins. DJ Hahn gives it in to Tara Parsons and gives it right back out. Rifles a pass over to Jasper, out of her reach though, as it will go out of bounds.
Just a few seconds too short on that one. A good tic-tac-toe strategy to pass that one around, but Bianca Jasper is a little bit too far ahead.
So now Chopin working against Abby Sporio. Chopin gets her pass picked from Abby Sporio. Now DJ Hahn in transition, working against Shabazz. And then slowing it back down is Bianca Jasper. Sporio coming up a little bit late on that. Hahn gets it and gives it over to Flood Francis. Flood Francis also hasn't taken a shot. Her first shot up and no good, but she will be fouled. I believe she will be going to the line to attempt two.
58% for her from the free throw line here in this season.
Ready her first, and it is up and no good off the back of that rim. Subbing back in is Rachel Chesar.
Pittsburgh, PA native from West Mifflin, but originally from high school, but Salem transferred.
Second is up and good. Now up by 7 with 1 minute and 55 seconds left before the fourth quarter begins.
And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about her, you can see our latest edition of the Jess Strom Show, which is on our YouTube page.
And there's a travel called on that one. So Tara Parsons almost thought the foul was called on her. Kind of letting everybody know that she did not want that foul to be called on her. There are quite a few people behind us letting out some sighs of relief.
A lot of joy. Nobody wants to be tagged with a foul that's not theirs.
So now Flood Francis finds DJ Hahn, chest pass over to Abby Sporio. Now 15 seconds left on the shot clock. California drawing something up on offense. Over to Hahn. Hahn just inside the three-point arc. Shot up, no good, nothing but air. And Parsons tries to keep it alive. She cannot, as Mercyhurst will take over.
A little off on that one, but sometimes, as we've seen, she can be a little bit of a streaky shooter, Danny. She can go from making plenty in bunches to struggling to find the rim.
Without a doubt about that, as now pressured in the corner are the Lakers, trying to keep it alive, and Mercyhurst will keep possession of this one after it went off of California's hand.
Good work by the defense to really get that corner trap working and really find a way to cut off the circulation.
No doubt about that, and using everything they possibly can on defense. Trying to pass it in was a freshman over to another freshman, Emily Chopin, and then Flood Francis comes up with a steal under a minute now. DJ Hahn in transition, shot up and good. And just like that, California jumping out to their largest lead of the night, up to 9 now.
And she really needed that basket, Danny, to get confidence back after airballing something like that.
And Emily Norris on the other side, shrinking the lead back down to 7. I agree definitely with that, Colin, though. I mentioned before in the break and even in the pregame, we were talking about how getting confidence earlier on in games for California seems to be the key. If they can get these easy shots up, you know, you can see that playing out a big role later on in the game. Parsons tries to do it all herself. She'll be called on the foul on number 40. That was on Jemiah Shabazz.
And these are going to be her 8th and 9th free throws of the contest. Sporting the same hometown as my good friend Danny Beck here, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
First shot up and good, making her hometown proud. You're almost in the same area as I am, Colin. Almost hail from the same geographical region.
Geographic pride, but a little bit of a rivalry there as well. So I do believe, didn't she attend CD East?
Who's that? Tara Parsons?
Yeah.
No, she attended Central Dauphin.
Oh, so you did go to the same school. I wasn't sure if they attended, because I knew you went to CD.
A former alumni of California, Brittany Nelson, she went to CD East. She played last season, 2 seasons ago, as now Abby Sporio almost poked the ball away from Emily Chopin. Keeping it alive, though, as Chessar looks up at the clock. Gives it over to Oswalt. Oswalt shot up. Back over to Lapertosa. Lapertosa with 1 second left. Forced to push it away, and California, great defense on that one. Forces the no shot before the 4th quarter begins. California is up in this contest, 44-35. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we can see if California can keep this up, or if Mercyhurst can answer back right here on CUTV and live on the PSAC network.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship, found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. California leads in this contest 44-35, really riding the coattails of Shatara Parsons with 18 points here tonight, Colin.
That's right. And taking a look at the rest of the players in terms of scoring here, DJ Hahn has broken into double digits with 11 points, and then following that, it's a lot of a race still, if you will, to really see who's going to finish with the third most, as we've got a couple 4s, a couple 2s. We've got a 6. Technically, Miku Sean's holding down the third spot here. 6 points for her.
California and Mercyhurst also tied with 23 rebounds apiece. So getting back the ball for their offense. I mentioned that's something that California really had to do in the second half of play, and they're executing. So now passing it over in the corner to Chessar. Now Oswalt working against Flood Francis. Good defense there, and actually she will be called on a foul. Just as I said that, kind of almost jinxed her on that one. So this is what I do, Colin. I don't mean to sometimes. You just have to yell out a jinx, and you know it happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Someone as well as Vivian Allison, a freshman from Washington, PA.
Another local product here on the court.
Now Oswalt sets her feet, shot up, no good. Vivian trying to do the exact same thing, shot up, no good as well. Trying to keep this one alive, and they will, as Allison does exactly that for Mercyhurst. A lot of young players out there on the floor, as Shatara Parsons picks the pocket of Emily Norris. Shot up and good, registering her 20th point of the night.
Breaking into 20 points there off a nice steal. Doing what they do best here to start this 4th quarter.
Allison driving in, working against DJ Hahn. Should be called on the travel. DJ Hahn's shoe came untied, so we're going to have a little bit of a stoppage here. And Allison not afraid to just drive right in towards DJ Hahn and Shatara Parsons, but she'll quickly know that those are a force underneath the hoop.
That shoe tying break is now over. Always got to make sure they're laced up good.
Now Jasper finds Abby Sporio. Sporio gives it back to Jasper, and then a little bit of hot potato on that one as DJ Hahn gets it. Flood Francis shot up, no good off the front of the rim. Now Oswalt in transition. Oswalt almost attempted the shot, ran into her own player, trying to keep it alive. Emily Norris over to Chessar, and then in the corner, Chupin put up a shot, and then Allison gets her first point of the night.
Nobody really really defending on that one. Not quite sure if there was a little bit of a breakdown or if everybody else was covering somewhere else, but still, 2 easy points.
Now with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left before the end of this contest. California on offense. Send it over to the side, over to Flood Francis. Flood Francis slows everything back down with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Abby Sporio shot up, and she will be fouled going to the line now to attempt those easy free throws. Call on, I believe, on number 12, Vivian Allison. Actually, no, it's going to be called on number 23, Emily Norris. That's her 3rd foul here tonight as well.
Elizabeth forward product.
Shot up, no good from the Warrior. Former Warrior, I should say.
Former Mountain Cat as well. Transferring in from Pitt Johnstown, as she's a 43% shooter.
Second one is good. Score is now 47-37. California up by 10. Eliza Oswalt kicks it over. Now working around that 3-point arc, swing it across the court. Vivian Allison keeps this one alive, and then Gina Valacorsa will have it. Taking it away from Allison, now wide open over to Shatara Parsons, getting the shot to fall, registering her 22nd point of the night.
Good bit of plays right there as we watch that. Steal by Valacorsa, pass it up to Sporio, who finds Shatara Parsons breaking towards the hoop. Everything done right.
The timeout was forced to be called by Mercyhurst as they find themselves reeling for anything they could possibly get out there on the floor, as California has now jumped out to a 12-point lead.
As you see right there on the screen, CUTV_PA, one of the big parts of our social media, the big part of our organization as well. All of our stuff ends up there at some point, as you see us down here on date night. But still.
My date guy right here. What can I say?
My date guy right here. We're just 2 date guys, but still.
Talking about basketball, that's what we do out here. And, you know, it's good to be here with you on Valentine's Day. And hopefully when you're watching this game with your special someone, I know Colin's my special someone. I'm going to keep reiterating that. But
right.
Nonetheless, you know, it's good to call some basketball here tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to finally be back. It feels like we've been on the road for so long. I mean, seeing all the different venues is fun, but it's really nice at the end of the day to be able to go back home.
Most definitely is. I mean, we don't have to get into a car and travel back to California. You gotta just walk back up to our dorms. You can walk back to your house after this. You don't really have to, you know, we have to pay for food. It's kind of nice not having to pay for food everywhere we go, but nonetheless, you know, we can still cover this team on our Wednesday and Saturday tradition.
Definitely one of the biggest perks, though, is we get to go to some great places to eat. No matter where we go, Gary Smith always knows what's up in terms of where to chow down.
No question about that. As now we're going to see Mercyhurst pass the ball in. Our director just said we're going to make some homemade spaghetti, and you know, I kind of want to have that right now. I'm a little bit hungry for this game, and California's hungry for another win, keeping this in that win column as forcing Mercyhurst. Actually, no, Jasper will not keep it alive.
Worked really hard to keep that one alive as she was falling out of bounds, but you got to admire the hustle and the effort.
So now, Chopin passed it in over to Oswald. Flood Francis cannot keep this one alive as Shatara Parsons pokes this one away. Now caught in the trap. Vivian Allison, that is Stephanie Petrie. Shot up in the corner, no good. And I believe Mercyhurst will keep this one as well. So traversing all over the floor just to keep Mercyhurst with possession and new shot clock as well.
Big time collision almost went down over there. Big heads up and watch out over there if you're Mercyhurst.
Oswalt gives it in over to Chesar. Chesar wide open to the hoop, and a wide open shot falls.
Went up strong with that one. Wasn't afraid of the impending defense that was on the way.
Now Jasper brings it across half court. Over to Valacorsa. Sporio wants it. Gives it in over to Parsons, but bad pass as Emily Norris comes up with the basketball. Chopin in transition from just outside that PSAC logo. Valacorsa keeps it in. Looking up the floor, gives it to Abby Sporio. 1-on-3. She settles down and lets everybody get back on offense.
Really looking to get some time off the clock here as they're holding a healthy 10-point lead.
over to Flood Francis, and there will be a charge called on Gianna Flood Francis. I believe that is her third here tonight, second team foul in the fourth quarter.
Still a little bit on the fence about that one as we watched it here. I'm not totally sure, but I'm not the one wearing the stripes.
It's now Petrie working on the inside, feeling some pressure, then gives it over to Oswald. Oswald against Flood Francis. Now Chesar has it with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Chopin shot up from the corner, no good. Keeping it alive is Chesar for the Lakers. Oswald finds Petrie, and then Petrie wide open. Over to Norris. Norris shot up and good. Good passing out there for the Lakers.
Good passing, great playmaking. A lot of good things on that last offensive series there for Mercyhurst.
Now cut the lead down to 8, did the Lakers. 5 minutes and 35 seconds left before the end of this contest. Mia Kushan looking to come in for California. Valacorsa thought about a 3, no good. Kick ball violation off of the Lakers. Kushan will come in for Gianna Flood Francis.
Subbing it up here, getting a couple of people back on the court. Interesting to see, we've seen a couple of people who normally play a decent amount of minutes not make their way into this game here so far, as Natalia Casals as well as Emily Suckling both have not entered the game.
Jameer Jeffries has not as well seen the court. Valacorsa shot up, no good, too hard on that one. Trying to keep the ball alive was Mia Kushan. She cannot as the Lakers come down with it.
Jameer Jeffries played a lot of minutes against UPJ on Saturday, Danny.
And Chesar shot up, no good, too long yet again. She definitely did, and she was pivotal. Kind of brought a little bit more of that height out there on the floor when Tara Parsons sat out.
Almost starter type minutes, if you will. And that's actually very difficult to go from a role on the bench to bringing it for almost the whole game.
Valacorsa no good on the shot, but Tara Parsons gets it right underneath the hoop. Puts up the shot, no good, but she will be fouled. And I believe that will bring us to our media timeout with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left before the end of this contest. And California really has to lock down, as now we're gonna look at calvulcans.com, our SID and his talented staff helping us out every single game day, as well as just giving us and the fans some information.
That's right, you can see them up there. If you look at the scores table on your screen, to the right there in the black polo is Matt Kuiper. There we go, we got a close-up. Matt, Jenny, and Alex. You see them all there. He's definitely doing all the important stuff. Writes a lot of stories, keeps us informed on everything Cal Vulcans.
And keeping us up to date. You know, we get all of our stat sheets from him, our rosters. Kind of gives us a tail of the tape, if you will, before every game.
It's always nice to see if we had a couple of people come through our program and then go to work with him as well. Matt Heggie comes to my mind in that term.
Yeah, he's the only guy that I can really think of in the recent years that came through us and then went right back over and went to grad school and did his grad assistant with Matt Kuiper and the SID staff. So that's always something cool that we can say.
Now he heads on over to Albright College on the eastern side of the state and does what Matt does for them.
He's filling in his role without a doubt. And California now finds themselves up by 8 at the free throw line, trying to stretch their lead out to what it used to be. It was at 12 at one point, so trying to keep that lead where it was.
The Lakers coming back onto the court here, walking right back into your frame.
Parsons with 22 points here tonight. She's 9 of 17, 4 of 9 from the free throw line. Trying to right her wrongs on this trip. First shot up and good.
She's attempted quite a few free throws here. Actually, the most on the team, as that was the 10th, and this will be the 11th.
No good on that one. So now as she is 5 of 11 from the stripe. Chopin working against Niku Sean, has her pass broken up by Gianna Flood-Francis all alone underneath the hoop and good on the shot. So just like that, now they find themselves up by 11.
That's one of the dangers of really looking to swing the ball at the top of the point here if you're playing against California, because they are so good at jumping into that passing lane and really disrupting that.
Chopin still working against Kushan. 4 minutes left to go now for the end of this contest. Sub in Amber Renz as well for the Lakers. Her first time seeing the floor here tonight. Renz shot up and good with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. As Parsons will be knocked over. Coming up slow on that.
I hope she's okay.
One of the more resilient players out there on the floor for California, just jumps right back up. Very physical player as well. Sporio gives it over to Flood-Francis, and there is a foul called away from the ball.
Danny, really interesting fact that I'm seeing here that we're so close. It's, as you know, it is Ash Wednesday, and there's a couple of players on the court who are indeed sporting that on their forehead.
And this is something that you'd see, being that Mercyhurst is a Catholic school.
Correct.
So
it's nice to see, though.
Without a doubt. It is interesting to see, too, because you normally see that out there every day. Obviously, Ash Wednesday, one of those special days that you would see that, so it makes sense. So now we're going to see some more fish fries popping up across the Mon Valley. CUTV will be in attendance for them. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Might be spending my bottom dollar on a whaler fish sandwich.
So now Mia Kushan passes it over to Valacorso with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, 3 minutes left on the game clock. Great pass right over to Gianna Flood-Francis from Shatara Parsons. Counts it yet again. Flood-Francis now with 5 points here tonight.
2:48 left to go here. Really working to close this off is California.
Up by 11 still, 54-43. Chessar gives it back over to Chopin. Now with Sidwell. Over to Chessar right underneath the hoop. Puts a shot up, and she will be fouled. Going to the line to attempt 2.
She took a little bit of contact on the right arm there. She got that one underneath the hoop.
There's 3 players out there on the floor with 3 or more fouls. As right there, Mia Kushan just registered her 4th foul here tonight.
From the land of Ryan Kaufman, being Ohio, 78% from the free throw line.
Hits her first, shrinking the lead now down to 10 for California. And make that 9. 2:25 left. Passing it over to Gianna Flood-Francis. Flood-Francis settles it down and brings it across a Cal Vulcan logo.
Cal Vulcan logo, which is in the process of being remade.
Be on the staff hoping to kind of change some things, Colin and I.
So we'll get a chance to sit in on a workshop and where they'll take our ideas into account as they want to base this new logo around the CalU community.
Shot up, no good. Coming down with the rebound is Emily Norris, and she will be called on the travel. California will keep possession with 1 minute and 54 seconds left. And you know, Emily Norris had the rebound. She looked like she shuffled her feet just a little bit before she fell to the floor. California now can milk some time off this clock. Up by 9.
Doing everything they can, moving it slowly around, really just grinding out the game in textbook fashion.
Valacorso looks over to Mia Kushan, tries to find Shatara Parsons, and now with 11 seconds left on the shot clock, California has to draw something up quick. Now Parsons driving in, step back right at the free throw line, no good. Trying to get the rebound was Flood-Francis, and she will. Shot up, no good. Mia Kushan comes up with the rebound, shot up high off of that backboard, and gets it to fall. Big second chance, maybe even third chance points for California.
That one was way up there. She launched that one, almost really hit the literal top of the backboard.
And now Gina Valacorsa gets the ball back for California. Slowing this down one yet again, as California is up by 11, under a minute left to go now. So now Parsons gives it over to Flood Francis. Her favorite target, it seems like, in the fourth quarter. And Flood Francis, yet again, converts.
Good backhand finish on that one as she was facing away from the hoop.
16-second difference between shot and game clock. California up by 13. Chessard gives it over to Renz, no good. Shabazz up and good, second chance off that rebound, and now she'll go to the line to attempt the three-point play.
Good follow-up there, following those shots and earning opportunities just like this one. Shabazz, 71% shooter.
And it will be good. So now with 32 seconds left, Couchon gives it over to Parsons. Parsons keeps it alive. Now Abby Sporio brings it across half court. Over to Flood Francis. Flood Francis shot up and good. Flood Francis gets into double digits. Actually, no, she has 9 on that one.
Just one short.
15.6 left. As Hurts showed a 2-point on that one from Norris. Abby Sporio has it now for California. 6 seconds left. And that will signal the end of this contest. California comes away with the victory 60-50 on Valentine's Day. And Colin, any last words?
Good game for California here, really exercising the demons from earlier in this season, and now they can really look towards the big and pivotal game that's coming and looming this Saturday in Indiana, Pennsylvania against those Crimson Hawks.
Kind of a revenge game here on Valentine's Day. No love for Mercyhurst as they come away out of the Convocation Center with a loss. But that's all we have here from the Convocation Center. Thank you to everybody on crew, Carrie Smith, our director and producer, everybody on camera, graphics. But that's all we have. California comes away with the victory 60-50. Thank you for watching CUTV on CUTV Sports 1 and live on the PSAC network.